Good evening. Today, the United States determination to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
So we know of at least 5 secret talks. There was a talk in March that happened in Oman, and then there were other talks that happened after Rouhani was elected, but before these public discussions happened. And officials have been pretty secretive about where the talks exactly happened, and that's in part because they want to be able to preserve these locations for future secret talks.
Allow me to thank you again.
Successful political transition is an essential prerequisite for sustainable security. It is vitally important that the elections next April be transparent. We are already acting on them. We have to do better. We owe it to our colleagues who lost their lives in Benghazi.
From the U.S. side, the top 2 officials were Deputy Secretary of State Bill Burns and an official named Jake Sullivan, who used to be at the State Department and currently actually serves as Vice President Biden's top national security official. Bill Burns is someone who has worked on the Iran issue for several years. Jake Sullivan is someone who is really widely respected at the White House and at the State Department. And between the 2 of them, they really forged pretty strong relations with Iranian officials, both before the election and after the election.
And thanks to everyone for joining us. I had the privilege over the course of the past couple of weeks to join Secretary Clinton as she participated along with President Obama in both the APEC. Thanks, Ben, and good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to take a minute at the top to orient people to the main themes of the speech today and connect it up to the larger agenda of foreign policy and national security.
The U.S. kept the March meeting from its allies because they didn't consider it to be a meeting of substance. But they did have to brief Israel and its 5 negotiating partners about these meetings that happened during the fall. And the president handled the most sensitive of these briefings himself, and that was with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Netanyahu was scheduled to come to the White House for a visit on September 30th. Obama personally briefed Netanyahu on the U.S. bilateral talks with Iran, and just days after that briefing, Netanyahu went to the United Nations for a speech, one that he gives every year, in which he really blasted the Iranian regime. He called Rouhani a wolf in sheep's clothing, and it became pretty clear that whatever President Obama had said to him in their conversations earlier in the week hadn't done much to assuage his concerns.
To ensure that our diplomats have enough support and security to do their jobs.
To China, thanks to the concerted efforts of both sides,